Hello all, very good morning. In today's session, I would like to continue the guidance and counseling topic. So if you are new to my channel, I have discussed regarding guidance and counseling principles, definitions and types and areas of guidance and counseling in part A and part B session of these classes. So now I would like to discuss you regarding conducting a counseling session in the nursing school. Or nursing college. So coming to the purposes here. So as a adolescent, as a teenager or as a human being, we are in a continuous process. We are in a continuous developmental process. So there are lot of physiological changes that are occurring in our body and lot of mental changes that occur in our body as we encounter different types of situations in our day-to-day life. So here, coming to the purpose of conducting a counseling session in a nursing college or nursing school, mainly it is to help the adolescent with normal developmental problems. So as we are discussing, we face different types of situations. Either it can be physiological manner or either it can be a mental manner. So we need to adjust, we need to understand, we need to cope up with the developmental problems. If it is a girl, whenever she is attaining puberty, it is entirely a different story from what she has faced previously. And for a boy who is entering into his teenage, his thoughts and his abilities, everything will change. The way he speaks, the attitude, his feelings, everything will be changed. So in order to cope up with those type of situations, you need this counseling here. Nextly, to help for the prevention of temporary crisis. So because of the continuous stress that is being kept on a student, because of the family problem or because of the relationship problem or because of the friends or the peer group problems, the person may experience, it is related to the individual here. So they may experience temporary crisis. So at those type of situations, the person may tend to go for suicidal thoughts also. So in order to prevent those type of situations, you need to have these counseling sessions. And nextly, in order to identify any disturbed behavior at the earliest. So if any student is showing any kind of signs of disturbed behavior, through this counseling you can identify, and based on that, based on the help that they need, based on the temporary crisis, you can refer those cases, those type of cases to the specialist if they need any treatment, so that the person can be brought out of the temporary crisis or brought out of this disturbed behavior, so that his thoughts and emotions will be carried out in a smooth manner. And nextly, the purpose is to facilitate communication within the nursing school, within the home and communities and other resources. So whenever you are conducting a counseling session, here the participants will be like the counselor as well as the counselee. So what will happen here, both of them will try to speak to each other as they are establishing the rapport. Here the counselee, who is the person who is taking the counseling, he will show all his problems to the counselor. So based on that, the counselor can form a solution to the particular problem which the counselor is facing, which the student is facing, so that we can solve the problem in a better manner. And nextly, mainly to support the tutors. So what we are doing through conducting the counseling sessions, we know the way the person is speaking, the way the person is receiving, the way the person is pursuing, you can have a clear idea. So what it will do, it will give the tutor an intimation. So what the student is facing particularly, and whenever the tutor is understanding the student, it will help him to guide him in accurate manner and give him a reassurance, so that the student or the individual is coming out of the problem. And nextly, it is giving an well organized structure, and it is mainly covering three major functions of the program. So here the counseling is mainly adjustment. So when a student is coming from far away places, for example, we have students from different types of states. We have students from West Bengal, we have students from Mizoram, we have students from the northeastern states, and we have students from Nepal. In such a way, we have different types of students coming together in a particular classroom. So you need to adjust. So there are people who doesn't live without parents for a long period of time. So they haven't left their home, but for educational purpose they are coming from different areas and they are coming and sitting in the classroom here with different types of food habits, different types of climatic changes, different kinds of people, different kinds of languages, and there is a continuous stress on the student regarding the academic year performance. So in those type of situation, for their adjustment, for their orientational purpose, for their developmental purpose, you need to have proper counseling. So whenever a student is receiving proper counseling, he can come out of these situations and he can face them in an accurate manner. So whenever you are conducting the counseling sessions, it will help the counselee as well as the counselor to identify the problem, to make a plan and to conduct the sessions. Coming to the organizational setup here, so it is depending upon number of students, kind of university and kind of college. So for constituent colleges on the campus, for example, if there are 1000 students here, a counseling officer will be assisted by the guidance committee to make a plan regarding the needs of the student during their implementation of the program, and even the deputy chief and academic advisor has to cooperate whenever you are conducting counseling for 1000 students in a constituent colleges or of the campuses. Here if you see, for more than 1000 students, here the students are assisted by the counseling officer. Counseling officer will appoint an assistant from the student itself. If there are less than 1000 students, a liaison officer will look after. So coming to the organizational setup in constituent colleges or on the campus, here if a counseling is being done by 1000 students, is given for 1000 students, a guidance committee will make a plan, and regarding the needs of the students they will make a plan, and they will, whenever they are implementing the program, the deputy chief will come, the academic advisor will come as well. So both of them will be cooperating, and as well as the guidance committee which has made a plan, they will be also coming with the counseling officer, so that the counseling is done in an appropriate manner. If it is more than 1000 students, so the counseling officer will appoint an assistant counseling officer. So these students are assisted by mainly the counseling officer. And here if you see, if there are less than 1000 students, a liaison officer will look after the counseling services. And at an affiliated college at distance, for the affiliated colleges which were at distance, so if it is for 1000 students, the counseling officer will be assisted by the guidance committee as we are discussing, and they will implement with the help of vocational officer. If it is like less than 1000 students, the same, the liaison officer will look after him. If it is at university level, the dean is assisted by HOD of psychology, and the education guidance committee will come into play. Counseling officer will make a plan for the counseling session. So coming to the essential activities of guidance and counseling, first of all you need to form a guidance and counseling committee. So what this committee will do means, it will prepare the policy for this program what we are conducting, and this committee, it will list out what are all the problems that require a particular solution, and it will coordinate guidance activities, and it will assist the work that has been done during the counseling session. Coming to the members that were involved in guidance and counseling, so firstly we'll have dean. So he will be assisted by the HOD of the psychology department, and counseling officer or liaison officer will be there. For less than 1000 students means the counseling officer, he can give the counseling. If it is more than 1000 students, then he will take help from the guidance committee members. Nextly, teachers from different specialties and academic disciplines and student representatives will come into play, parents will come into play, vocational guidance officer will be there, and peer group will be there, librarian will be there, and warden and medical staff also will be there. The principal has to specify the rules of each faculty member in the members of guidance and committee. So these are all the members who are there in the guidance and committee. So coming to the counseling center here, so every university or if it is a large college, they should have a proper counseling center, and it should be headed by a counseling officer with Ph.D. degree or master degree in psychology and counseling with a considerable experience. So whoever is counseling, neither it can be university or it can be a large college, they definitely need a counseling center, because the students will be under continuous pressure according to their developmental aspect, according to their emotional aspect, according to their personal life, according to their educational aspect. So they definitely need some kind of counseling and guidance whenever it is required. So you need to have a counseling officer. Either he can be a PhD degree holder or he can be a master degree holder. He should have considerable experience whenever he is trying to give counseling. So whenever you are appointing, you should definitely have a considerable experience for the counselor who is teaching this, who is giving this counseling. He should have PhD or he should have at least a master degree in psychology. Coming to the functions here, to assist the group of students or individual or staff members with special educational or vocational and personal problem. So the personals, not only the students, not only the staff members, so in every individual who is working in the university or who is working in the college, if they require any kind of guidance, if they require any kind of solution, the counselor is the one who has to give counseling to those type of member. He should provide psychological testing facility based on the individual or group, and he should carry out research activities on testing procedures and experimental programs, and he should help in training PG students in counseling and testing. So those who are studying this those who are pursuing this psychology master degree or PhD degree, the counselor who has done his PhD or master degree with considerable experience, he has to guide them, and he should conduct special clinics for developing the study skills and reading improvement, and orientations talks to students and parents to give information regarding the course of studies. So what they have to do, they have to facilitate, they have to available in the institution, like conducting the libraries, workshops, labs, playgrounds and fee concessions, etc., so that the students can choose different types of careers, different types of subjects that they are interested. Nextly, career talks. So here the counseling officer, so he should give information regarding the particular job. So what is the difference between a private job, and what is the difference between a government job, and what is the difference between the abroad job? So what are all the job benefits that these persons have whenever they go and choose a particular profession? So all these things will be done by the counseling officer. Nextly, career conferences. So he should provide occupational information for the group of students. So if you go to nursing, you need to serve the people, you need to go in a medical manner. If you are a doctor, being a doctor, what is the level of care that you need to provide to the community? What is the dedication that you need? If you are becoming an engineer, so what is the role, what is your importance of the society? Or if you want to become a politician, so all this, what are all the career conferences? Nothing but what kind of life you will lead if you choose a particular profession. So all these things need to be addressed by this counseling officer. Nextly, planning tours. So as a part of education, as a part of institution, everyone, they should have some tours. So you should visit research institutions, you should visit professional colleges. So what it will do, it will provide students with direct and first-hand experience of the work which is being done. It can be physical or it can be social environment in which it was done. So you need to go for different types of areas, you need to visit different types of places, then only you can understand what is the culture, what kind of things that can be done. For example, if you take to the hospital, so at first day you don't know anything what is going on there. It will be like a drama, and you cannot cope up with the particular situation, and some people even they cannot tolerate the smell that is coming from the hospital environment. So if we are planning for tours, if you are going and visiting various kind of hospitals, you can have set of idea. For example, you don't know the difference between a mental hospital or for the hospital for psychologically disabled persons and a general hospital. You don't know the difference between particular PHC or CHC, community health center. So whenever you visit those type of places, reading in books is entirely different with going and meeting personally. So whenever you meet personally, your reception, your receiving power will increase, your perceiving power will increase. You can understand the situation because you are in a particular situation that you are facing. So you will have better understanding ability when it is compared for simple reading. So you need to go for particular tours. Nextly, arranging personality counseling for low achievers and students with other problems, or sending them for specialists. So what they are doing here, mainly those who are at backward, means not everyone are backward, everybody are at front only, but coming to the academic performances, some people may not show desirable interest in doing those kinds. These people are very good at some other work, but in order to, as they have chosen the particular profession, as they need to lead it, so in order to cope up with the situation, in order to understand, in order to yield better results, they need what they need for counseling. We have to send those type of students or people to the specialist, so that they can overcome the situation and they can do better in their academics and with their life. What are all the tools that were used for collecting information? Means we have two types of tools that were being used: non-testing tools as well as psychological test. So coming to the non-testing tools, so here we are doing interview. In interview we are having face-to-face communication. Here the person, the student cannot ask you any kind of questions, but as an interviewer you can ask the student regarding the questions. And nextly, you are observing the student and sociometry, so how he is maintaining relations with the people around him. Anecdotal records, so means what are all the vital events that had occurred, what are all the vital movements that were occurring in a particular individual. And nextly, cumulative record. This cumulative record will have everything from day one of admission to day end. You are maintaining a cumulative record. So what are all the problems with the student, what are all the benefits for the student, what are all the positive points, what are all the negative points. So these are all some of the non-testing tools. So as we are discussing, coming to the interview, so what you are saying, it is the basic tool for counseling. So it is a conversation. So we are conversing with a definite purpose. So information with the help of interview can be collected from the individual student, from herself or family member or friends or teachers. So in an interview, you can interview a family member regarding a particular individual. You can interview a student, so regarding a particular his friend. You can interview a teacher, how the student behaves in the class, and you can obtain. So here interview, it permits flexibility, it have clarity, it has an opportunity to understand the counseling better. So what this interview is doing means, here whomever you are trying to, from regarding which person you want to obtain the information, you can have clear data from different areas, from different types with direct. You can directly ask the person, you can directly ask his friend, you can directly ask his student, or you can directly ask a staff member in the college. So this is an interview. Observation. So in observation, here the counselor, he is being carefully observed by the counselor. So he will observe him in participating observations, or either he can observe him non-participative observations also. He will how means, for example, every time somebody will be someone will observe you in the class, you don't know that they are observing you. So it is non-participative observation. Coming to the participative, they are participating with you while they are talking, while they are engaging with you, they can understand. So this is the observation. Coming to the anecdotal records, as we are saying, it consists of important incidents. Whenever you are taking an incident, so depending upon single incident, you should not you should not come to a clarity, you should not come to a decision. So the case should be taken into the record, and what happened. So whenever an incident is happening, or whenever an problem is occurring with the individual, you have to take those incidents into the record. And tutors, they should always encourage you to participate in it, and decision they should not make based on a single anecdote, means single incident. Coming to the cumulative record, as we are saying, so it is a method of recording and providing meaningful, significant and comprehensive information. So over the years, so how he is doing in first year, how he is behaved, and second year how he is behaved, in third year how he is behaving, in fourth year how he is behaving. So based on that, you are maintaining a cumulative record, and at last, whenever there is need, you will obtain this cumulative record in case of any crisis or in case of any kind of situation, and you can come to a decision. Sociometry. So it is used to measure the sociability of a social distance among the groups of members. So how he is maintaining the relationship between the other persons, how many members of friends are there, and what kind of behavior that they are having, what is the positive impact and what is the negative impact of this sociometer, you can understand. So coming to the psychological test here, so it is providing information about individual psychological characteristics. So what is his intelligence, what is his aptitude, what are all his interest, what is his ability, personality, etc. So here the choice of test, it should be made by looking at their validity, reliability, usability and practicability aspects. So all these aspects will come into the psychological test. Coming to the purposes of psychological test, to identify bright and poor students. So as we are discussing here, we are seeing the intelligence, we are seeing the aptitude, we are seeing the interest, we are seeing ability and personality. So we need to conduct this psychological investigation so that you can identify who are bright students, who are poor students, and you can identify what is their area of weakness, and we can, based on that, we can serve counseling to them, and you can give vocational guidance, to give conference with the parents and teachers, and to select the individual from a group of applicants. You need to go for the psychological test. Coming to the role of counseling team member or counseling personnel. So here the role of principal. If you see the role of principal, the principal plays an important role in organizing the guidance and counseling services, because he or she is the leader, they are the director, and they coordinate this program. So we have, whenever a principal feel that there is need for guidance and counseling, he will recommend the authorities for an appointment of particular counselor. They will provide necessary facilities for the guidance worker and staff member with different kinds of guidances, and they will provide assistance in planning a guidance program. How we can form this program? What kind of planning that need to be done whenever you are giving a counseling session? So they will encourage the teachers and students to attend special guidance courses and seminars, and they will inform the parents and teachers regarding the guidance activities that were available in the college. Coming to a role of teacher. So she collects the information, she or he collects the information and maintain the cumulative record. They observe pupils in various situations, like how they are behaving in classroom, how they are behaving in library, in clinical area. They will see, they will detect any maladjustment. They will prepare the case history of a problematic student. If any student is having any problem with the behavior or with the adjustment or with the academic session, they will create an case history, and they will help the pupil to secure better educational, personal and social adjustment, and they send the information regarding the students to parents as well as principal, and they will help the student in evaluating their own growth, so that where they need to concentrate, how they need to concentrate, in which aspects they need to modify themselves, they will be mainly known by the teacher. Coming to the role of a medical staff here. So what is the role of a medical staff here? Mainly they are making an arrangement for medical examination of each student. So whenever there is suitable interval that has been occurred from one stage to other stage, during that time, if they feel that there is need to conduct any kind of medical examination, they will conduct the medical examination, and they report all the physical handicaps, mainly the physical handicaps of students, mainly to parents, to teachers and to the principal. They maintain complete record pertaining to the health of the students. So they maintain a record for the health of the students, and they tuck up follow-up work. Coming to the qualifications of a counselor. As we are discussing, you should do a master degree or Ph.D. in psychology with a course in guidance and counseling. You should have diploma in the course of guidance and counseling, and the counselor must have knowledge about personality problems and testing mental hygiene as well as counseling techniques. And coming to the functions of a counselor, so he should schedule and he should conduct the interview, because he need to know the person personally. So in that kind of situations, he can go for this interview technique, because it is the basic tool for information collection. Nextly, group guidance he should give, individual guidance he should give, orientational services, data collection, placement and follow-up work, and providing liaison between the school, home and the community, and remedial work. So skills that are required for a counselor. So mainly skill in conducting interviews, so greeting, maintaining eye to eye contact and proper body posture, and he should encourage the participation, he should arrange the physical environment, he should focus on the problem, he should identify what are all the important theme, and he should focus on the theme, and it should be a goal setting. Coming to the phases of counseling, so as we are discussing, we have different phases. Firstly, we will establish a relationship, because no person is willing to share their information, either it can be a personal information or either it can be a group information. So in order to obtain those type of information, you need to have particular rapport. So establishing a relationship is very must and should. And then you need to assess what are all the data that has been collected. You need to assess the data, you have to organize, you have to make this cluster of data into a organized data. Then you have to set the goals, you have to plan for the information, and you have to go for termination, and you have to go for follow-up. Termination means once the counseling is done, you need to terminate the relationship there. So if it is required, then only you should follow. It should be in a always therapeutic manner. So thank you. This is regarding the guidance and counseling that is being conducted in the colleges. So if you like the content, I request please like, share and subscribe the channel, and if you have any kind of queries, please drop them in the comment box and let me know, so that I can correct myself, I can give you a proper teaching. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.